What is going on, wrestling fans? It is WWE at Home 219 here with my Hell in the Cell 2013 review. Just to warn you guys going into this, I did not see every single match in its entirety. I think I saw John Cena versus Del Rio, the whole match. Ryback and Punk I watched throughout, and Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton I watched throughout because it was kind of hard to watch. I had three sporting events going on last night. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The Cardinals were playing. Unfortunately, they lost, but my Packers picked the win on Sunday Night Football, so that was good. So this review won't be really fully right or correct in your opinion because I didn't get to see every match in its entirety. So I'm just going to grade it on what I saw. The pre-show, we saw Damien Sandow versus Kofi Kingston because Curtis Axel we found out, would be injured and he wouldn't be able to compete here on the pre-show for the IC title against Big E Langston. But during the pre-show kickoff, Big E would challenge Dean Ambrose for that U.S. title because the Shield was cutting a promo and Big E was on the pre-show panel, and then that would be announced for a matchup at the main Hell in a Cell card. So I'll review that a little later. But Damien Sandow and Kofi's match wasn't that bad. Kofi Kingston showed some athletic moves like always. He's always high-flying around the ring. He's fun to watch. Damien Sandow actually shockingly picks up a victory here. He used the new finisher here. I don't know really what he's calling it, though, but it's kind of like he tosses the man up, and it looks sort of like a rock bottom in my opinion. I don't know if you guys noticed that either. But this matchup was pretty solid. Like I said, you see Damien Sandow, Mr. Money in the Bank, pick up the win here over Kofi. I'll give that matchup a C+. It wasn't that bad. So then the first matchup on the card was for the Tag Team Championships. We would see the Rhodes family versus the Shield versus the Usos brothers, and this honestly, in my personal opinion, was the best matchup of the night. I really enjoyed it. Just a lot of action. I feel like the feud that the Shield has developed with the Rhodes brothers is awesome. Goldust is still crisp as hell in the ring, and the Usos always put on a good match. Granted, they have never been champions, but their matches they put on with the Shield in the past are good. It's really not hard to put on a good match with the Shield since Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are so talented. But we would see the Rhodes family pick up the victory here as Cody Rhodes would pin Rollins after a very impressive Crossroads, as we've seen him do Crossroads to Rollins before. Like I said, it was my favorite matchup of the night. I'm going to give it an A as we see Cody Rhodes and Goldust retain their tag team titles, and maybe this feud with the Shield will be over with. And then The Miz would come out, and we know he wasn't medically cleared to compete, but he said he wanted to fight because that's totally different than wrestling. Then he would call out the Wyatt family. We'd see Eric Rowan and Luke Harper come out, and then Kane's Pyro would hit. Kane would return here at Hell in a Cell, basically just save The Miz for the second that it is, but then Kane would deliver a choke slam to The Miz, and then he would set the ring on fire like Kane always does. Good to see Kane back. I don't know if this necessarily means he's turning heel or if he's joining the Wyatt family yet. I don't think so. I think that's just typical Kane going after both men to make a statement that he's back. But that's basically all I got out of this promo is that Kane has returned. Obviously, you can't have Bray Wyatt face The Miz because really Bray Wyatt is the one that is not healthy enough. I think they just made that bullshit excuse that Miz was not healthy after that attack on SmackDown. But it's very cool to see Kane back, and it looks like maybe that feud's going to ignite again, and maybe The Miz and Kane will team up to take out the Wyatt family. Who knows? But to see Kane back, that's pretty cool. I'll give that a B. So then the next matchup we would have here is Fandango and Summer Rae versus Great Khali and Natalya. I didn't even watch it, so I can't even grade it. But apparently, like it says here at BleacherReport.com, Summer Rae would pin Natalya for the win. So you guys tell me down below how that match went. Because honestly, when I see Great Khali come out, I'm not going to be paying attention. I'm going to watch the Cardinals or the Packers. So then Dean Ambrose would take on Big E Langston for the United States title, and I wasn't able to watch this one in its entirety as well, but I did get to see most of it. Big E Langston would pick up the win, but obviously you don't win the title via count-out victory. But these two had pretty good chemistry in the ring. If I'm not mistaken, this might be the first time they've been together. I could be wrong. They could have had matches on NXTs or in the Florida Wrestling League that they used to have, or I don't know if the FCW, I think it was. Maybe they faced off then. I don't know. But this is the first time they've been on WWE TV. And it was a pretty cool matchup. I can't complain there. Maybe they're going to start this whole new feud now with Langston and Dean Ambrose. I'd be a fan of it. I'll give The Langston win with the count out, probably a C. So then we'd see CM Punk take on Paul Heyman and Ryback in a Hell in a Cell matchup. Now, Paul Heyman really wouldn't be involved in this, as he would get craned all the way to the top of the cell, and he would basically just be on top of the cell, calling out all the shots for Ryback in this matchup. Now, I mean, I'm not a big fan of these Ryback CM Punk matches. I honestly, in my opinion, feel like Ryback's getting worse in the ring, if that was even possible as it is. It's just annoying to see Ryback in these kind of matches. Punk had to really carry out this whole entire matchup. And, I mean, I think the structure of the Hell in a Cell match itself made this match actually bearable because it was not that entertaining, but there was some pretty cool spots as we'd see Ryback superplex Punk into the cage a couple times. And then Punk basically just took most of the big shots. But then CM Punk would hit Ryback with the GTS, pin him for the 1, 2, 3 as he'd pick up the victory here. And then afterwards, CM Punk would start climbing the cage and then attack Paul Heyman with a kendo stick and then give him a GTS, which was pretty cool to see at the end. Maybe this the end of the feud. I hope so. It was a great feud, but it's just I'm tired of seeing CM Punk take on mediocre opponents. CM Punk, like I said, picks up the victory here in a matchup that I'll give a C+, just because it's finally, hopefully, the end of this feud. And another matchup I did not watch in its entirety, Los Matadores taking on the Real Americans. That really isn't popping out any eyes for me. Apparently, Los Matadores picked up the pinfall, so congratulations there, but I'm not going to give a grade to a matchup I didn't watch. Now, a matchup I did watch here is the return of John Cena taking on Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship, and also on my Twitter feed, we saw all these Cena haters tweeting, "Oh, God, here he goes with another title shot." Well, honestly, in my opinion, I'd rather have John Cena holding the belt than Alberto Del Rio. He was just stale as hell. And that's exactly what happened, as John Cena would defeat Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Cena's pop is one thing I'm going to take out of this matchup. He got a big reaction from the fans. And I think I was just as excited because if you haven't seen the ratings lately, they haven't been doing so hot. And I honestly, in my opinion, think it's because of the absence of Cena and Sheamus. This matchup was very good, however, very entertaining. Del Rio always puts on a good matchup no matter who he's facing, and John Cena would deliver the AA to pick up the 3 count here. No cash-in whatsoever, as we'd see John Cena hold up the title to lead off into the next segment. This matchup, like I said, was very good, and I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to give it an A-, and I'm going to call it the second best matchup at Hell in a Cell. And then the next matchup, another matchup I really didn't watch whatsoever, AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. Apparently, AJ Lee picked up the victory with her submission move. Can't rate this one because I didn't watch a single second of it, and I don't think a lot of other people would have either. But it is good to see AJ retain because, in my opinion, I believe AJ is the best diva they have going, and there's really no one else that deserves that title. And then finally, for the main event, Daniel Bryan taking on Randy Orton for that vacated WWE Championship with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. This matchup was taking place in the Hell in a Cell structure. Pretty entertaining matchup. A lot was going on here. Towards the end, Triple H would come out, basically distracting Shawn Michaels. Randy Orton would pin Daniel Bryan while that all was going on. And Bryan would hit 2 suicide dives before Orton turned the third one into a meeting of Bryan's head and steel. Then basically Randy Orton would start to take over, and then Triple H would try to get back into the ring, but Triple H would get into the ring, and then Daniel Bryan would deliver that knee to Triple H. Everybody's chanting, yes, yes, yes. And then Shawn Michaels, supposedly, this is his heel turn, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if it's really a heel turn, if he's joining the company or he was just forced to do so by Triple H, but he would deliver that super kick to Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton would pick up the 3 count here and become a new WWE champion. We finally have a WWE champion, so that's a positive to take out of this pay-per-view. That matchup was pretty interesting. I predicted Shawn Michaels turning heel. If that's what they're going to call it, then yes, I predicted that correctly, and Randy Orton's the champion now. Since I basically said to my buddy Aaron, you've seen him in past videos, if you're subscribed to this channel, if Daniel Bryan wasn't going to pick up the victory here at the Hell in a Cell, I couldn't see him picking up the victory with this feud. I really don't know if they're going to give Daniel Bryan a legit run, because it looks like the corporation is just totally running WWE right now. It's kind of a shameful thing because Randy Orton has been given title opportunities in the past, and I'm not taking anything away from Randy Orton. I feel like he's a hell of a competitor. But everybody, I feel like, even if you're a guy that likes all the heels, I like majority of the heels, but I want to see Daniel Bryan prevail and actually get a legit title run. Maybe that'll come at Survivor Series. Who knows? But I'm kind of excited for Survivor Series. I don't know about you guys. Going back to that matchup, though, it was probably the third best matchup of the night that I will give a B. It was a very solid matchup and a very interesting ending. And Hell in a Cell in general, I feel it delivered. I mean, I didn't pay for it. I watched it on my laptop. I live streamed it. But if I were to pay for it, I'd be satisfied with my payment. Now, if you're disappointed, I want to hear why. Give me down below of why you didn't like Hell in a Cell. Overall, I'm going to give Hell in a Cell a B minus because I feel like it delivered. I feel like it did what it had to do, and all these storylines are making sense to me right now. So that is my Hell in a Cell 2013 review. Tell me what you think down below. Like and subscribe to my channel if you already have not, and follow me on Twitter at Let's Talk _WWE. And take it easy, guys.